Right folks, a couple of weeks ago I hit the 1,000 subscriber milestone. It's been quite a long time coming. I seem to have been stuck between 900 and 1,000 for a really long time, although I blame that squarely on Games Workshop, because this was primarily a Warhammer Fantasy channel, and since I did kind of skip the end times and didn't bother with that whole business, then that probably caused my audience numbers to dwindle a little bit. And the game systems I was covering in the meantime, while they're fun, they don't really move the needle in terms of viewing numbers. Your likes of Relics and Drop Zone Commander and Bolt Action. I mean, some of them have communities that are big enough that if you really throw yourself in there and become the epicenter of the battle report community for that particular game, then you can build a lot of subscribers. But just covering lots of different games, it's not really conducive to bringing in a ton of subscribers. But recently, with Age of Sigmar, I've been consistent in my message over the last couple of years in that I was sitting out the end times waiting for them to give us something that was going to last, because the end times did always seem like a kind of temporary measure, like a bridge between two editions. So I always said, as soon as the next thing comes out, I'm going to cover it. Even if it's terrible, I'm going to get the book. Well, there isn't really a book I need to get because it's free. So, of course, I'm going to cover that system because Warhammer Fantasy was my first love in wargaming, and it's still right up there. Of course, I'm not going to stop covering the other games. I play about 10 different game systems, so this channel's always going to feature content from the likes of Relics, Bolt Action, Drop Zone Commander, Kings of War, Dreadball, and so on. But Age of Sigmar is what's obviously pushing the subscriber numbers up at the moment. There's going to be plenty of videos on that because I've got a lot to say, and I've been bottling up all this Warhammer Fantasy content in the back of my mind for a really long time that needs to be flowing out there into the community, flooding it, if you will. Now, a lot of people, when they reach a milestone, they decide they're going to do a contest, and I thought about doing that, and I decided, you know what, I will do a contest, but not in the traditional sense, because usually contests are a nice way to bring in even more subscribers on top of the milestone. Say, sub to this channel, comment on this video, make a video, like and share this post, and so on, and then you'll get entries into this contest to win something. But I'm not a huge fan of those. I would rather just reward, I would rather it be guaranteed to go to a subscriber that deserves it. So what I did was, I went onto YouTube's handy dandy new features and I looked at the first page of my most active subscribers, and then I took a note of all those names, and then I also looked at my page of subscribers that have been there for the longest, who's been subscribed to me for the longest. So anyone on the first page who also appeared on the second page, who also appeared on the longest subscribers, got a second entry. Because obviously some people in the longest subscribers probably just don't even log onto their computer anymore, so they don't get an entry just based on length of subscription. So people on there and on there got 2 entries, and it was one of those people that actually won the draw. It was Bazooka J Rambo, who I have met in the past. I met him at Grumpy Old Wargamers, so he's a community legend. So what he's going to win, now for the prize, I'm not swimming in cash, so I'm not going to be giving a particularly amazing prize, but I wanted to give something that was kind of a symbol of my progress during my time with this YouTube channel, because it has led into other things. Obviously I've made tons of friends out of it, got into a lot of different games, made industry contacts, if you will, and it's reached the point where I have designed a card game which is going to become an actual product. I'm working with a legitimate company on it who have run Kickstarters before. Some of the people involved are well known in the community. I'm not going to say too much about it right now because it's still waiting for 1 or 2 things to be finalised, but everything's signed and everything, so it is going to happen. So that card game, I'll send a copy of that when it's produced to Mr. Bazooka J Rambo, and if there is some kind of horrific disaster that prevents it being made, then I'll come up with something else. He'll get something out of it either way, but I'm pretty confident that is going to happen. And I wouldn't be able to have reached that point without this YouTube channel, because I did have, I've still got another YouTube channel that has more subscribers than this one, but I kind of abandoned that because I wasn't happy with the level of community feedback and interaction that I had, because I realised, well, for a lot of years I hadn't even been putting myself out there in any kind of creative outlet to be judged by the public, which is what I've always really wanted to do. I was just shying away from that for some reason. So when I had my other YouTube channel, where I review PC games as a funny character, then that was really me putting myself out there to be judged by the people, which was quite a big step. And then I decided, you know what, I want to take that to the next level. I want to actually mingle with real people and interact with them, meet people and make some friends out of it as well. And the computer game community, it's not really ideal for that. It's much more of a solo thing, and if it is with other people, it is all online. You don't really have to meet up with someone to play PC games, do you? So the tabletop community was perfect for that, and it coincided with the timing of me just discovering that there was this whole internet community for wargaming out there through the likes of Beasts of War videos, were the first ones I found, and then I came across all the other channels out there, of course, and decided to create my own. And then I met various community legends along the way. Since I've had this channel, I haven't really subscriber chased to any great degree. For the most part, I've covered game systems that I thought were interesting, and I want people to know about them, rather than what's going to bring in more subs. I've hopped between game systems as well, which isn't really a good idea if you want to build a subscriber base. You should just focus on probably the biggest game, probably 40k. Just do endless battle reports, painting tutorials, subscriber numbers will just go up like that. Regardless of quality of content sometimes, obviously a lot of them are really good. But I would rather have 100 subscribers that are subscribed to me and watch all my stuff because they think I'm just an endless charisma fountain, if you will, rather than having 10,000 who just click because I've got the latest hot topic of the week in the video title. You could say that's the case at the moment with all the Age of Sigmar stuff, but that was a game I was always going to cover heavily. I've just been itching for Warhammer Fantasy content to sink my teeth into all this time, so of course there's going to be a large spillage of it out there into the community from me. So while having a lot of subscribers is nice, and it's really taken a big spike in the last couple of weeks because of Age of Sigmar, that's not really why I do this. I'm not going to be making money out of YouTube. I'm not going to make a career out of it. That's not really possible. I've had one YouTube payment so far in all these years, which was nice, but the amount I've spent on models and even probably props for my comedy videos have cost more than that one payment. So that's not really a way to make a living. But of course, I am taking steps into game design at the moment with that card game, and hopefully that'll be the first step on the road to being an international A-list game designer rather than just an international A-list wargaming journalist, which is something I've currently achieved. That achievement box has been ticked. So thank you very much to all my subscribers who have been with me over the years, and thanks also to the recent subscribers. Don't think you're going to be neglected. And you can look forward to many videos coming up. There's going to be more on Age of Sigmar. There's going to be some Kings of War videos now that the second edition's out. There's going to be the live International Hangout Relics League, which is going to be very exciting, and much more. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you when I hit 2,000, no doubt.